These pedals have far more character than you might initially think at first glance, and the more you hear, the more intrigue you'll feel for the Simgrade VX Pros. They are extremely short, which will appeal to those with compact space. They are designed, manufactured, assembled and sold from Finland, which will appeal to those who'd rather send their money somewhere different for a change. They are extremely smooth and precise, which will appeal to those who seek high performance. And they are sensibly priced with a 2-year warranty, which will appeal to everyone. Clearly crafted with a splash of clever and artistic engineering flair. Let me show you how it's been to use the Simgrade VX Pros. Before I start, please be aware that Simgrade has provided the pedal seen here free for review in exchange for this video. Watch the whole thing through before making a decision, but if you do decide that these are the pedals you want, links to buy can be found within the video description. Using these helps support me, thank you for doing so. This is a review, not an ad, but due to those factors, I mark videos like this as a paid promotion within YouTube settings. I want to confess something first. I wasn't majorly interested in reviewing the VX Pros for a long time because you eat with your eyes first, and I wasn't a major fan of the overall aesthetic. However, I could no longer pass up these often recommended pedals. I saw many comments urging me to investigate these in my previous videos, and no voice holds more weight for me than yours. I'm willing to be wrong, and getting to know them, I was wrong about these. Right now, they are €398 excluding tax for the throttle and brake alone. By my calculation, that's around £450 all into your door in the UK, once tax and shipping is factored in. Likewise, the free pedal set as you see here, with throttle, brake and clutch, is €533 before tax and shipping. That's around £587 to a UK address once tax and shipping has been mixed in. Before I talk about the design, I want to get this out of the way. These pedals perform very well. To me, they've been brilliantly smooth, precise and consistent. I now understand why I couldn't mention VRS pedals without someone echoing back half the time, asking me if I'd tried the Simgrade VX Pro pedals. They feel so similar in terms of their buttery smooth linkages, and they're just as crystal clear in operation. I just wanted to plop that down so you can watch the next segment without unnecessary suspense. The most striking and unique aspect of the VX Pro's design is how small their footprint is. They are extremely compact, like no other pedal I've seen. Even the box is tiny. This will be exciting to some people, trust me, especially if you're a little short on space, but just as equally if you like offbeat design. Having no pedal overhang here would be brilliant if my rig was up against a wall or something, but I personally do just enjoy compact gadgetry. I'm a minimalist at heart. The less space things take up and the less clutter they pollute the room with, the better. The compactness of the VX Pros is achieved by a really weird looking steep spring angle on all three pedals, which aims the spring forces almost straight down. But the weirdness continues. Each pedal's spring rod rolls directly along the load cell on these bearings, using the load cell itself as some kind of plank walk. Normally, the spring is directly fixed or anchored to the load cell in some way, not allowed to roll along it like some kind of microscopic rowing machine. No other manufacturer does this, as far as I'm aware. And VX Pros have been around long enough for this not to turn out to be some kind of fatal design flaw. It stands the test of time, it seems. It's such a unique and quirky way to convert your pedal pressure into a digital output. You can see how those round bearings move back and forth along that shiny silver load cell, which detects the pressure being directly put on it. As I waited for the kettle to boil, I realised that this might be the only pedal set in the world that might be vulnerable to one particular edge case problem. You see, if you're going full throttle down the straight and then a beetle happens to walk behind the roller bearing, when you lift your foot, the beetle could act as some kind of wheel chock and cause your throttle pedal to stay stuck down even when released. It would be the world's first DNF by hard-shelled insect. Seriously though, I just really enjoy off-piste alternative solutions to a problem that's already been baked into industry norms. It puts some joy and intrigue back into it. Being designed in Finland, it wouldn't have been a shower fort, it'd have been a sauna fort. Adjustability is complete even in such small confines. The travel of a throttle can be bound by this adjustable backstop. The resistance of a throttle spring can be altered by changing which of these cups the end bar sits within. The pedal faces can be raised or lowered, the entire pedal assembly can be tilted, spring preload can be changed, the brake and clutch are similarly interchangeable, the brake spring attack angle can be changed easily to essentially alter the brake stiffness, and it's quick and easy to do so. The clutch has a 2-stage ramp bracket which achieves that distinct clutch-like pedal feel with a shockingly small amount of hardware. No supplemental mechanism which would add cost, literally just this piece of steel profile, which you can also switch out for an alternative spring behaviour. It's all very clever and so compact. As far as I can see, there is no vector of adjustability that has been sacrificed in the name of compactness. Everything you'd expect is here and more. So on to the thing that matters most, the driving. There is one thing I've come to value above all from a pedal set: clarity and repeatability. I want my pedals to feel so smooth and clear that they achieve a metaphorical mirror finish, the purest possible one-to-one link between real-world movement and on-screen output. These VX Pros have to follow a very tough act. The VRS direct force pedals, which I've been using for a long time now and have come to adore for those specific qualities. To my surprise, the Simgrades feel equally smooth, silky and friction free. There's just no noise, no grit, no ripple, no bumps or lumps, just a pure glassy glide through the pedal range on the throttle, with a brake pedal that I can trust wholeheartedly. If I wasn't wearing shoes, then I wouldn't be surprised if you could see my pulse through the brake traces. It gives me extremely high confidence. Immediately I felt right at home with these, and I note that I've made only one change to the brake pedal, slotting the mainspring into a higher notch to alter its angle of attack to bolster the mainspring resistance. Other than that, it's perfect. It's great to take a pedal set out of a box and discover that it's almost perfectly suited to me from the get-go. In my testing window, I have essentially forgotten that I've switched my pedals from the VRS to the VX Pros. That's a glorious achievement by itself, because when it comes to performance items like pedals, I often judge things not by what they give me, but what I think I lose when I use them. I expected to miss my VRS pedals somehow, but I simply don't here. As far as I'm concerned, these are top tier pedals with an enticing price point and some unique engineering personality traits, but personality traits that influence presentation and don't deflect or undermine performance at all. Now, like the sweeties next to the checkout, you may see that there are some optional extras available for the VX Pro, including a tilting heel support and a side support. For me, the tilting heel support actively obstructs me and gets in the way of my leg action. Immediately I knew this was not for me. The side support is also, in my mind, pretty much redundant. In both instances, I would encourage that you don't automatically throw them into your initial order just for the sake of it, for fear of missing out. Buy them if you think they solve an issue that you are having. We are all built a bit different, but for me, they are completely unnecessary. Smart, but unnecessary. There's also a brake kit which provides additional notches for spring rate adjustment, as well as 2 alternative springs which are both softer than the supplied yellow spring. Same again, I haven't had the need for this kit. The standard setup is nicely firm and yet has some wiggle room to soften it up to a respectable medium strength by moving it down the notches. If you're somebody that knows they like a really spongy brake or a rock solid brick wall brake pedal, consider the kit, as it actually expands range in both directions, not just softer. For me, in all 3 cases, it would have been money wasted, as the VX Pros are delicious as standard, but be aware of their presence in case you find yourself wanting for them once you're all set up and using them. In summary, I put the VX Pros right along the VRS pedals in terms of outright performance and feel. They are extremely clear and consistent pedals, and I honestly don't know if I could tell them apart in a blindfold test. If your question is, which one would you recommend, VRS or VX Pro, I would say they're completely neck and neck. If you're the type of sim racer that feels your precision is currently outmatching your current pedal set, if you have belief in your talent and intuition, and you're targeting that big upgrade, you will be tremendously happy with the VX Pros. Just be ready for the reality that you won't be able to blame your pedals anymore. That eccentric and compact design is just the cherry on top. Thanks for watching, and I hope this has been entertaining and informative. Don't forget to check the video description for more details. Any questions you've got, fire away, comment below, and cheers again.